Everyone. My name is Michael Madsen, and the topic I chose for my health survey and health project was the relationship between oral health and overall health. Someone who is going to dental school next year, this topic really gave me a lot of interest. And so in the abstract, we read about one of the leading causes of death in the United States, which is heart disease. So when you think about heart disease, you think of all the health promotion programs that have gone in to decrease the amount of people dying from heart disease. And so we have health programs that focus on exercising and dieting and smoking and things like that. But I think what's overlooked is oral health. So in the background, you can read about some studies, and I give you some links of some studies that link not just cardiovascular disease, but other diseases and other infectious diseases as well that are linked to oral health. And so our project, what we really wanted to do was to, one, see if our participants in our population had the necessary knowledge and understanding that the role of oral health plays in your overall health, but also see if they had that knowledge, if they would be willing to make changes in order to have better oral health. And so our participants in this study, they lived in Rexburg, Idaho. Their age range was from anywhere from 18 to 50, most of them being in their mid-20s or early 20s due to it being a college town. We actually thought that this helped give us more, I guess, accurate results, though, just thinking that people in their 20s have usually developed their oral habits already. And so we were really interested to test this population to see if they would be willing to change those habits. And so out of the 100 people that we asked to fill out the survey, we got 24 responses, with an even split being 12 male and 12 female. And so our questions, we got some background information as far as education level, age, gender, things like that. And our questions were aimed to answer the two questions that I had mentioned in the objectives. And so our results, they came back. So you can see in the graph, the pie graph labeled Q1, that was the question. Have you ever associated oral health with chronic conditions such as diabetes and cardiovascular disease? And so you can see it's actually a pretty low response. As you can see, 62.5% of people said they had never associated oral health with chronic conditions such as diabetes and cardiovascular disease. And so I think a conclusion you can draw from that pie graph right there in those responses is that people, in fact, in our population do not have an adequate knowledge and understanding of the role oral health plays in their overall health. You can see from the pie graph labeled Q2, this was the question: if you were told that seeing a dentist twice a year would lower your risk of infectious disease, would you? And so we had a pretty positive response here. You can see that about 70% of our participants said that they would, in fact, see a dentist twice a year if it meant they could lower their risk of infectious disease. And so the conclusion that we drew from that is that people, if they were given the adequate knowledge and tools in order to improve their oral health so that they can also improve their overall health, they would make those changes. And so that's what the conclusions that we drew from our studies. We also had a hypothesis that maybe those who are more educated would have a better understanding of oral health. But actually, the results showed that there was no correlation between education and oral health knowledge. And so I thought that was pretty interesting.